Greetings, traders. It is I, Abdul Shabazz, and this is some real change stock options trading journey. And today, I wanted to go over my progress and I wanted to share some things with you guys that I'm learning along the way. And again, what is a journey without checking the progress on the journey, analyzing what's going on the journey, and then adjusting? So that is what, needs to be done right now. That is what the purpose of this video is to analyze and then to make adjustments. Pretty much right now, for the past month, I'm at about a 50% profit range. If you go a little bit further out than that, I'm looking at about 60%. You can pretty much see, what's going on. I started off in March trading options. It's my beginning of my options journey. I had one red day in the last week. The month of April, I traded for 3 weeks, had 4 red days. The month of May, I traded except the first week. The first 4 days I missed. Okay, and I had 2, 4, 6, 8 red days in the month of May. Okay. In the month of June, I had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red days in the month of June as well. In the month of June, I traded every day except for 3 days. And the month of June potentially gave you 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 potential trading days. Okay. But nonetheless, I had 8 red days. And the month of July, I have 4 red days and 4 green days. And so far this month, I have 1 green, 1 red. So that's where I got the 50%. Looking at July and August, and then looking at June. As I said, I had the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and here we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's still 50% going all the way back. And then let me check here. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against the 8. So yeah, a little bit better. Let's say about 55%. Okay, but here is the thing that I'm learning, and no one is going to teach you this stuff, and that's why, I'm sharing this journey, is so that I'm sharing with you what I'm learning. There's a certain point where you're trading to learn how to trade. You're trading to learn patterns. You're trading to work on patterns. You're trading to perfect your entry. You're trading to perfect your exit. You're trading for recognition of the pattern. You're trading for the discipline to take the trade in the first place and not be a deer in headlights. You're trading to practice emphasizing your risk management, to be able to stop out where you're supposed to be and not get caught like a deer in headlights. So that's one aspect of trading that all beginners begin with. And that is what I've experienced here from April, May, June, and now a little bit of July. So even in all, we're talking, approximately 36, I would say 90 days total, 90 days of trading total, approximately 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, throwing some change, 65 days of trading, possibly, I did that wrong. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. Yeah, I did it right. 65 days of trading. So the main thing that I've realized is that after you have that first aspect of what I've just described, then there's a second aspect. And the second aspect is now trading for income. Realizing that in order to trade for income, you have to master the trade. You have to master the chart. You have to be a good trader. That income is just a byproduct of trading well. If you trade well, the income is going to come there. However, there's a difference when you're just trading in the first part of what I described, when you're just trying to master the setups, master the technique, master the execution. The amount that you trade doesn't really matter because it's about perfecting the trade, perfecting the execution, perfecting the setup, acknowledging, recognizing, and taking advantage when it's time for you to go, jumping out the plane when it's time for you to jump. That's what it's about. But now, when you're trying to shift, you then have to increase your size to a respectable amount of contracts where you don't have the same feeling that you do with one contract. Like, this money is just one contract. This is not a lot of money. I'm going to give this room to yada, yada, yada. You have to change that to a number that you're not going to make that kind of move. You have to change that to a number that you're going to respect. That you're going to say, I can't afford to lose this money, any of this kind of money. And that, I believe, is going to help shift you into a business mind frame. And in order to make money in the market, you have to then transfer for someone who's trying to learn it, trying to execute it, into someone who is now trying to generate income with it. And that's going to allow you to move different and trade different. So I've come to a point where I have to change the amount that I'm trading. Because my inconsistency with my contracts of 1 contract, 3 contract, 5 contract, 10 contract, that makes a difference in my psychology. I could truly, if I look at my winning trades, and then I look at how much I made off of those trades, okay? If I would have been trading bigger, larger, let's say 10 contracts, for example, just 10 contracts, the amount of money that I would have made off of some of those wins would have been sufficient enough for me for the day. There would have been no need for me to go back in and trade again, where a lot of times my second trade was a loser and I gave back profits, but only took that second trade because even though I traded well, my entry was good, my exit was good, my stop, my risk management was good, but the amount of money at the end of me trading well, I looked at my P&L and I wasn't satisfied. So then that caused me to trade more. And that's really what we don't want to do. We want to trade less. We want to take the money and run. But when you have a good trade and you nail the execution, but you look at your P&L and you're like, man, this ain't the amount of money that I can live off on. At a certain point, you have to say, okay, I've got the execution down. I've mastered my entries. I've mastered my exit. I've mastered my risk. But now I have to put an amount of money on there that's worth my time, that will tickle my fancy, that will quench my thirst, that will allow me to respect that number and stop trading for the day. Take that one good trade and be done. So to all my beginning options traders, that's the second phase. The second phase is once you have mastered the first phase, the second phase is to now deal with a certain amount of money where you're trading like a business now. where you're really trying to generate income now, where you're really just trying to get that one good trade now. So going forward, I'm going to be doing a minimum of 10 contracts, and I'm going to load my account up to when that banger comes to be able to drop 30 contracts on it. Because it's not about the contracts. And this goes back to the first part. It's about trading correctly. It's about loving the trade and wanting to be a better trader and trading correctly and mastering the trade. But once you have done that, then, my future millionaire traders, then it's about being satisfied with the results. And if you're not dissatisfaction brings about change. So if you're not satisfied with the results, then that's when we go put our hands back in the cookie jar and get popped and give it back. So I believe the key to that is after we've mastered the first part, or after we've gotten down the first part, because we never master anything, but after we've got an understanding and application of how to apply and use the first part, then it's time to start trading for profit. The amount of contracts that we use has to be respectable. So even if you get a 10-cent move, you happy with that. A 20, 30-cent move, you ecstatic. $1, googity bob. Okay? But I just want to share that with y'all on this journey because it's important for you guys to know that. So we're going to do that going forward here in August. Going forward here in August, I'm going to use 10 contracts going forward. Every trade. Every trade. I'm going to even share with you guys why. Let me show you my trade from today. And this is what got me, you guys. So we have the 5-minute here, the 2-minute here, the option contract here, okay? So my first trade I got in from 169, took it to 180, 11-cent winner. Second trade was a 16-cent loser. But the first trade, I used 1 contract. The second trade, I used 10 contracts. What sense does that make? It's not even about the loss. It's about the lopsidedness, because just wanted to come in and get my feet wet, but I nailed the first one. So I go from 69 to $1.80. That's 11 cents. But with 1 contract, I'm like, I can't even feed my wife lunch for that as much she like a 6 foot 200-pound black man. She can't eat off that. So it made me go back in and trade some more. Now I go back in, take the 10 contracts, but take the 16-cent loss. Now I'm pissed for the day. Where if this would have been 10 contracts here, and this would have been 10 contracts here, then I'd have had a $50 loss for the day. Respectable. Playing no more games. Playing no more games. And then because I was so upset with this, now I took myself out of position to miss this monster move right here that continued all the way down. So I was done right here. I had my winner, then I had my loser, okay? But then I messed around and missed this monster move right here. So going forward, yo, it's 10 or better. 10 or better. And then we're going to meet up again in a week and see how that has panned out. Thank you guys. Bye for now.